Guys, if you haven't already started farming in the new game mode, you guys are missing out. This is 100% the best place to farm. If you guys thought Summit was good for target farming, well, the countdown, I want to say, outperforms the Summit with drops, probably 3-1. The drop rate in countdown is fast and furious. You get so many. It's so easy to do. You just go to your map. You can matchmake from there, or you could go to the pilot. Also, selecting your target loot allows you to select all the new gear, the old gear. It's that easy. But it's even better because the drop rates when you're here is kind of impressive. And I think this is going to be the best place for you guys to actually farm loot from now until hopefully they never nerf it. And the cool thing about it is mid-game you can change the targeted loot. So say if you're 5 minutes or even 10 minutes into countdown, well, you can change the targeted loot right off the bat. And I'm gonna tell you, every time I play countdown in these 15 minutes, I am full. And I probably have on my character maybe 50 slots available. So yeah, about 50 slots, maybe a little bit less of free inventory. So that means I have about 50 slots that I can stack inventory. And right now, I'm going to be farming the new gear set, right? And before this countdown game was over, I was fully maxed out. I was trying to look for items that I didn't need that I could deconstruct, so that way I could use those items and keep the better items, and then hopefully have items that I could still throw into my expertise, because expertise is a big thing here, right? Like donating items is a big thing. So for me, I just didn't want to deconstruct everything, right? Usually I would just deconstruct everything, just take the materials, and then I'd be back at 50, right? But we get to a point where loot just starts to drop over and over and over. And I'm telling you, I had about 50 pieces, and you'll start to see it starts off a little slow, but as soon as we get going, their bosses start to come out. There's multiple bosses, and the rolls on these items are actually really good too. And that's what I liked. So the one thing you do remember about countdown is there is no difficulty. Like, you can't set a difficulty. It's already set to be, I believe it's heroic for 8 players. So the enemies seem to be a little bit more spongy, but you still can shred through them if you have a hard hitting build. I'm actually running one of the builds that I just put on the other channel. So if you guys want to check that out, it's an Intimidate build. And a lot of people were worried that Intimidate got nerfed all the way to the ground. And while it was nerfed, it still is very, very useful. And depending on the build you're using and what type of build setup you have with the backpack, as you guys are seeing here, I'm running a Memento backpack. So having that extra armor is going to keep Intimidate going. And if you look, I have a full stack of Intimidate, and I have it for a while, but some of these enemies are a little bit more tanky, so you get to a point where sometimes you do run out of time depending on if you are solo fighting them or not, because remember, this is built for 8 players. But at the end of the day, like, I was having a ton of fun with this build in countdown. And more, this isn't about the build, this is about the amount of loot you get, right? Because countdown, if it was going to succeed, it needed to be rewarding, right? And that right there is why this game mode is so rewarding. Just look at the loot. It seems every time I do get a drop, it's 2 drops. And we just had, what? We got 3 drops here. What was that? 5 back-to-back drops? Just loot after loot. And this area is still going. What's cool about this is there are multiple bosses that do come out of here. So look, another loot drop up here. I just kept running around and finding more and more and more loot, and I was looking for the new gear set. And you see how much target loot I was getting. I wasn't getting some random pieces from some other gear set. I was getting the gear that I wanted, right? And that's why I feel like this right here definitely outperforms Summit. I feel like sometimes I play Summit, I'm looking for gear, I don't get the gear that I'm looking for, right? I feel like the targeted loot on Countdown was definitely improved over what Summit does, and maybe they did improve that on Summit. But I will tell you, the loot drop right here in the Countdown game mode, was incredible. And everybody I'm talking to, I've asked other creators, I've asked other people who've been playing the game, and I was like, what do you think of Countdown and the loot drops? And they're saying they've played 15, 20 games. Not only is the loot drop going, there's so many players that a lot of times once you get to the very end, players are just sharing with other players. So if they don't need an item and they happen to get it, they drop it. Imagine if you did this with 8 players. You could just share so much loot. It's almost like when you played a raid, the real raids, you would drop all the loot you didn't need. If you got extra loot, like, hey, I got this, you can have it. It's kind of the same thing, but the loot is so much here that a lot of times you just can't keep it. So instead of deconstructing it, you're just giving it away. Or if somebody asks for something, you're just passing it. And that's what I really like about this. So I'm just letting you guys know, if you guys haven't started farming Countdown, I recommend it. If you're still farming the summit, you might want to just like let that one go, because the drops in Countdown blow it away. I used to play Summit for targeted loot, and I'm telling you, the good thing about Countdown, it's fast paced. Like if you like something that's fast paced, not slow paced, like floors, and seeing the same thing over and over and over, you're probably gonna like Countdown, because the objectives are a little bit different. Yes, the map is the same, but it's constantly evolving. You're constantly running around. It's not the same floor, like a couple desks, a couple shelves. You guys are gonna have fun on Countdown. I'm having fun, and I'm gonna be farming. If I'm looking for gear, I will be playing this, and then once I finally get the gear I want, then I'll kind of try to figure out what is Countdown, because Countdown is still one of those game modes. Like, I'm just doing whatever it tells me to do, expose, destroy. It feels like a fast-paced raid, to be honest. A fast-paced raid that is really easy to understand, but I don't know exactly what's all going on, but it's still fun. It's fun, it's fast-paced, and what's even better is at the very end, the amount of enemies you get is pretty crazy. Stuff gets really intense really fast, and I think a lot of you guys will enjoy this. Let me know, have you guys tried the new game mode in the comments? I just want you guys to let me know, what do you guys think about it? First off, give me a couple things. Do you guys like the game mode? Do you like the difficulty? Do you like the loot drops? And what do you think of Countdown versus Summit? Which one did it better? Let me know. I know it's a little early on, but for all of you guys who have been grinding, I see a lot of you guys out there grinding, trying to get the season, get those season rewards. I want you to know in the comments, what do you think about this whole new season, and what do you guys think about Countdown as a whole? I'm excited, guys. We should be live streaming soon. I'm sorry I didn't live stream today. I'm trying to figure out how I can live stream and still get these videos up, because this is gonna be my double upload on this one, double upload on the second channel. There's a lot going on. I'm trying to figure it out. And once I do, I will let you know in the community tab. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Appreciate the support, appreciate the love. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, hey, nothing but skills out.